Oh, look, we're recording.
All right, guys. So we went over the basic mechanics, and you guys all have cheat sheets because this is a new system. So
Yes.
we will get right into it. There's a couple of things I'd like to get through for the test run here. This is my first time running the system. I've read it. I just have not had a chance to run it yet, so this is going to be a lot of fun for me too. I hope you guys enjoy it. Again, these are pre-generated characters. Take liberties with them. The only thing is, remember, at least the Marines, you are a cohesive unit. So badger each other, be good friends or whatnot, but, get along. The Marshal can be the outside curmudgeon. That's okay. You are there for a reason, and you've got your own reasons for not wanting to die and wanting the job to be a success, so you've got motivation to work with people.
Fair point.
So, all right, so we're going to drop you straight into your debriefing when you guys come out of your freezers. You're going to be there for the briefing. You're not coming out of hypersleep. You're on the ship. You're going to be there for the meeting. Once they're awake and mustered, then you'll be brought in.
Am I powered off or am I just there? I'm not in hypersleep.
No, they don't typically put synthetics in hypersleep.
So I'm just on the ship by myself typically.
Well, no, there's other crew.
Okay.
And the way hyperspace works, people don't need to be in slumber for it, but extended trips, extended periods during hyperdrive or hyper travel messes with people psychologically.
Yeah, no, yeah. That makes sense.
They don't splatter against bulkheads or anything like that, but people, it's best if they're asleep.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't powered off, pretty much.
No. Synthetics are fine, and they stay awake, and they also, for a large military ship, I envision the fact that they would rotate people in and out.
Yep.
Especially on a military ship, they're not ever going to have just one person awake, like in the Prometheus or the other movies. There's never going to be one person awake on a military frigate or gunboat. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
So I'm taking it that these ships aren't using the drop hole system that sometimes they use in Alien lore. Drop holes, they're basically like almost like fast and light travel spots that you travel to. Then you go through and you can go like millions of light years away from places in the blink of an eye, but it'll
in the book, the way the system has everything, there are different ratings for faster than light travel drives.
Okay.
And the bigger the engine, the faster it'll go. There are no jump points.
Okay.
There are navigation points set for navigational purposes, so people don't hit each other and so people can coordinate.
Okay.
But there are no jump gates or anything like that.
Cool.
I would like to vote Mike off this ship because that was very sus what just happened. Red sus as fuck.
Agreed.
We haven't even started and you're already wandering off camera. What are you doing?
What do you mean? I didn't wander off camera. I just took a break with a smoke. What's wrong? Why? What is this?
Wrong character. Get the fuck out.
That's
The same character.
Godric with a machine gun. All right, so
This is my nightmare.
this is my nightmare. So, I was wondering how that could get worse. Now I know.
Now it's worse.
It's bad.
He's good, yeah. Okay, so the four of you, your squad, are thawed out. Basically, you're given your hydrate and your after thaw meal and everything. You're woken up. You were put into slumber knowing that you were going to a place to deploy.
Yep.
So you're expecting action. You guys get thawed. You guys get prepped and ready. You guys need to head to the briefing room so you can figure out what's going on and be given your mission details. When all of you get together and head to the briefing room, Angel, your synthetic, is already there, and she's a full-blown member of your squad. And Angel, you're in the debriefing room, or in the briefing room with your sergeant for your operation unit, and the civilian liaison that will be accompanying you due to some of the complications, and that's as much as the sergeant gets into it. There is a colonial marshal on board.
Cool.
You two meet before the rest of them come in, so if there's any kind of exchange or pleasantries you guys want to give each other, the first person you meet from the squad, Jake, is Angel. who is fully dressed up and in uniform like a colonial marine. Well, as a colonial marine.
What are you mouthing?
You continue.
I'm trying to.
I'm trying to read him.
Okay.
Don't read too deep. That's when it gets scary.
Ask him. He probably knows the answer.
That's fair.
So the gist you've been given ahead of time, Marshall, is that, for legal reasons, this operation is going to be across jurisdictions, not just 2, but 3. So for the purposes of ensuring the integrity of the operation, from a legal standpoint, they want an actual officer of the law outside of the command structure of the Marines, so that integrity is compartmentalized as well. So it's not a JAG officer that, of course, is going to be like, oh no, our guys did everything by the book. It's for integrity purposes. They want an outside observer, and they have contracted you more or less to be an official observer. They're gonna pay you for your time, and they're gonna take care of supplies and ensure your safety and all of that stuff. As far as it's been explained to you, your job is simply to be an observer to make sure that everything that is done during the operation is legally sound. They are operating as a military unit, so they're outside of some of the normal operations. It's not like a civilian operation. But as far as gathering evidence, integrity of evidence, and evidence chain and all of that stuff, it's important that you're there to sort of oversee and advise.
How is the marshal tied in? Like, what is the marshal? What organization do they get their rank from?
It is it's a across the colonies and organizations. It's a blanket law enforcement agency
And they're the
that
marshal.
everybody agrees to abide by.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Mostly because with enough money and there's enough space that if you want to get away with something, you usually can.
Yeah.
The corporations can.
Yeah.
So the corporations basically play face to it as a PR move.
Okay.
There is real jurisdiction there, though. And if you guys find the contraband that you're supposed to, it's actually going to be a fairly big kind of operation for a marshal to be involved in.
Cool.
Because a marshal doesn't usually have the resources of boarding a ship or finding contraband red-handed. You normally have to stumble into something like that because it's real easy for anybody to get lost.
Important question. Does he have a cool badge?
He does, but I don't know how much he flashes it.
Okay.
That's something for the player to decide for the character.
All right.
You can wear it on a lanyard, or you can keep it in your pocket.
So we're just now de-thawing,
Yeah.
and these two, the marshal and the synth, are in a whole different area.
Yes.
About
About
to
in the
receive a
briefing room, you guys are about to walk in. If there's something you want to do post-thaw and uniform and report, then you guys can do that amongst yourselves now, but you guys are about to walk in. I'm just letting them introduce themselves first because they see and meet each other first.
So is this our first time meeting then?
This is your first time meeting. This is probably what's going to establish the thing on your character sheet.
Oh, some big shoes to fill, Joe.
You got this.
Another day in the Corps.
We'll say during the travel and liaison on the way here, you have actually interacted with Angel more than once. So you guys have had video conferences, and you guys have had some small talk, which is where you've sort of established that you kind of like her. Because she is your buddy, right?
Okay.
Okay. All of the characters, I'll explain for the videotape, all of the characters come with pre-established relationships. Everybody here is somebody else's buddy and has some kind of enemy or enmity towards somebody else. It's not, it's listed as a rival, but that's misnomer, I think, on the character sheet because it's not supposed to be strictly antagonistic. It would be a terrible structure for a video game if absolutely everybody had to have a rival that was somebody else at the table. In the terms of this game, where almost everybody at the table is a cohesive Marine unit, it's basically there's one person in the squad that you'd rather not hang out with or kind of rubs you the wrong way. You're still a squad. They're still your Marine Corps brother and all that, but given the choice, you'd rather be on the other side of the barrack. All of the characters come with that established. What we're establishing right now is the Marshal has a good relationship, has a good...
Rapport.
Yeah, rapport might even be rough. Basically a good first impression is really all we've got right now of the synthetic angel. So yeah, you've part of making sure your arrangements were set and making sure that jump points were met and all of that stuff. Angel was put in charge of coordinating that, and they seem to be efficient, professional, attentive to making sure that okay, if this works for your schedule, we'll make it work for ours, and it's been a good experience.
All right. Am I aware she's a synth?
I wasn't ever hiding it, so I'm
going to say because you're a marshal and I know your skill sets, you have picked up on it. I don't know whether or not your character, because again,
replicant.
It's your character, so that's up to you. Whether or not you would ask, but Angel is not in the closet about being a synth.
Yeah, I was just wondering if that's something you would pick up on through correspondence, or if she would have stated it. Are synths aren't they required legally to establish that they're synths?
Usually, yes. However, they are capable of mimicking and pretending to be human beings. Yeah. Many of them try to do that and try to emulate it. Angel is not. Angel embraces her nature. Okay. So there's not a lot of false pretense or fake bubbliness or anything like that.
Not to say that I can't flip that switch when I want.
Right.
Is that your full name, just Angel?
Mm-hmm. Designation.
Designation. Okay.
All right, Marines, 5 minutes. Gear and clear. We've got a briefing.
Roger that.
Oh god, Justin's gonna enjoy this role way
too much.
All right. I don't know what you're talking about.
Way too much.
Give me a second.
Right in his wheelhouse.
Is that why he was doing push-ups pre-game? Is that what's going on? Getting himself in the zone?
Get that adrenaline going.
No, that was the drug problem I have.
Oh, getting twitchy. All right, so then you guys get cleaned up, get hydration, get a little bit of calories in you, and then you guys get into uniform and you guys come into the briefing room. And in the briefing room is your sergeant, Angel, the member of your squad, and some bearded dude in civilian clothing that you've not seen before.
That's half the crew we've seen.
What's the sergeant's name? Stanton.
Stanton?
Jeez. Oops.
So much aggressive page turning.
Okay, and during the absence, since it really won't matter, the short of what the sergeant gets you is you guys have an opportunity. You've got good actionable intel. We need a small team, and you guys have the skill set that is required. We need to get aboard a UPP, a Union of Progressive Peoples, which is the Russian and Chinese consortium from Earth, their spacefaring endeavors. They've got a janky flight plan. They're flying through other spaces and basically stopping in what is a small island of independent core systems. They've only got like the one system that's theirs, and they're basically doing a little hop on that island to get rid of some cargo. And then they're moving on, and according to the flight plans that have been discovered, they know where they're supposed to be going, according to their scheduled flight plan. Since they're crossing multiple territories, they have to designate where they're going and when. However, their flight plan does not correspond with travel times. So that there's like almost a 3-week window in there that is not being accounted for, and since there is already suspected smuggling activity, they're pretty sure that this is exactly where they're going to catch what they need to catch.
So it's a routine search and seizure.
Yes. There's a couple of things that make it unroutine, which is why we're sending in a small unit. They're landing in the independent core systems on a cargo colony, and they're willing to help us get what we need from the Russian and the UPP ship, but we need to do a favor for them as well. So we're going to put boots down on their shipyard and help them with their problem. And if we help them with their problem, which is getting control back of one of their ports, one of their landing docks, they're willing to fake logs and cause grief for the UPP ship and essentially make them take their cargo back before they leave. And the plan is to search that cargo, and if the cargo has contraband, then we've got them right there. If the cargo does not have contraband, when they take it back, you guys are going to be inside. We want to know where they're going. After they jump, Angel will be awake and can actually bring you guys out of your pods and figure out where they're going and what they're doing.
Okay.
We have the jurisdiction for this. We've brought a marshal on board. He's going to be an advisor for you guys to make sure that everything that we do is going to hold up to the legal standards. So
He has excellent qualifications.
make sure he comes back. Make sure he can do what he needs to do. And if he gives you a suggestion, you guys need to take it under advisement.
All right. We worked with civilians before. No big deal.
All right, so we're about a day out from the station at Grendel, and when we get there, we're going to sit down, and the first part of what we need you guys to do is essentially going to be a little bit of plainclothes work. I'll let you guys figure out how you want to make that work. I'm not a micromanager, but you guys need to be... You're going to need to find somebody without raising too many alarms, and then the rest of you are going to have to close the trap when you find it. So you guys decide how you want to divvy up your assets. You're probably going to want at least one or two people that can talk and act like they're not Marines.
Oh. I don't know. Anybody have any spook work in their background?
No, you're Corporal.
Definitely not Brutus. We'll figure it out.
No, he can act like he's not a Marine, but he's always going to act like he is.
Did I miss something?
No,
Just the normal stuff.
it's not a bad thing. We have you around for the way you is, son.
Ah.
Because you're our command. It's not recorded.
You're on. You're live now.
Yeah, you're fine.
You're live now.
Ask those questions. I made these characters. You guys aren't
So
intimately
just to
familiar
make
with
sure
these
you are corporal.
Corporal. Yes.
So
characters.
he's
He is your squad
corporal.
leader.
He's the Jefe.
I'm trying to figure out how to
Hefe
say
with a little
corporal
J.
with an accent. It's getting real
Little.
difficult over here.
My name is Happy.
Corporal.
All right.
So
You could just call him his last
the
name.
sergeant
The lower
gives you
enlisted,
a
that's
little
what
bit more of the
it is.
briefing and leaves some materials with you. And he says he needs to go prep the rest of the stuff. He's going to leave it in your hands. This is the intel you need. If there's questions, Angel knows how to pull up more information for you. We'll provide whatever assets you need once you're on the ground. You're going to be shuttling down, and in the documents you see you're going to be shuttling down. You're going to be posing as somebody else who wants to bring illegal cargo in and is using a reference to get access to this sort of pirate port. what you gather is there are several separate ports. It's a Mars-type planet. It's being terraformed, and you can be outside, so it's got breathable air and everything, but it's got a harsh environment with extremes of hot and cold just yet. So it's really rough outside. You can only be outside for a little while. But a lot of the buildings are separated, and there is one port that has been taken over sort of by a criminal element. And what the independent colonies want you to do is basically take the head off the snake. They don't want to go in there and fail the op and have it backlash on them. So they're taking the opportunity to use an outside resource that needs something from them to try to solve this problem for them. In which case they are willing to help you with the rest of it, which sort of puts them on the political hook a little, but they're willing to do that if you can take care of this issue for them. A criminal element is basically running this one little dock, and they will take cargo from anybody in and out, and making their own fees and all of that stuff. So it's a resource they would like back. And if you guys can do that for them, then they'll do for you.
Okay.
So you've been given a fake name to drop. The landing and meeting has already sort of been there. You're sort of introducing yourselves as new customers who would like to start doing business here because somebody else you know is doing business here and directed you there. It's basically just to get your feet on the dirt so that you can meet and hopefully find the person you're looking for. All they want is the head of the snake gone. They would like minimal damage to the facility because that's the asset they want to protect. If they weren't worried about the facility, then they could take care of the problem real quickly themselves. However, they can't get close without spooking him because all the locals know each other. So they're hoping you guys setting boots down and being out-of-towners will give you a window to get this guy.
All right, any questions, sweethearts?
Not here.
Nope.
No, sir.
How long till we get there?
You got about a day to kill if you want. If there's something you want to do.
Well, only so many times I can shine my boots and clean my gun.
Okay. All right, so just quick recreational. You guys are happy to be back out of thaw. You've been in thaw probably about 2 weeks. It's no big deal. You guys are used to going in and out of the freezers. And next morning, you guys prep. All of the gear is already set. You have all of your standard operational gear, including not suited up for the drop, but you have the equipment in a Pelican case, in a travel case. You do have your smart gun. There is a weapon case with pulse rifles and the M4A3s, the handguns, standard shoot handguns. There's a weapons locker, a weapons case with 6 of each for everybody. So you guys have your pulse rifles. You've got your standard issue sidearms. Your own equipment that you have outside of that, like your pulse rifle with the shotgun, you can bring that instead. The marshal has a shotgun that he can bring. You are issued, if you want, there is a set of the M3 Marine armor in there. They fitted you over the course of the day, so they've got the right suit for you, so you have access to that. And the medic's got all of her gear. Angel doesn't need anything, so you guys are all set. When you touch down, you need to be ready to at least have a couple of people step out looking like civilians, though.
Anybody have any background that might help with that? And Chad, didn't you used to be like a street tough or something, were you?
I mean, believe it or not, I wasn't born in the fucking Corps.
Not all of us can be so lucky.
If you need, I can always run a program.
For interacting with people, the 2 skills that will be useful are command and manipulation, which are based off of empathy. And anybody who has more than 3 or 4 in that has a decent chance at using those skills effectively.
I'm not going to be helpful in this one. At all.
Yeah, we figured out a long time ago that the smart gun you carry does all the thinking for you. the only part of you that is smart, Brutus, and I like you that way.
Sounds about right for you, meathead. If you need volunteers, I can try.
What about you, Marshall? What was your name again?
It's Jake.
Jake, thank you. He seems busy.
He has a lot of documents.
It's an odd layout for a character sheet too.
Maybe
I mean, I
we'll-
see how it's helpful, but it's an odd layout for a character sheet.
No volunteers.
I don't like running that Wayland program, but I can if you want.
I can go with Angel.
I have a dress and everything.
You know, I kind of want to see you in a dress. Let's do that.
If you wish.
Remember, you're coming across as smugglers basically that need a place to set their goods down.
Let's do this.
Since doing it, I ain't doing it.
It is not out of place for somebody meeting a new shady business partner to have Meathead Muscle with them, though.
All right, we'll run it.
So
We'll take
if one person's
myself.
willing to try to be the talker,
I'll do the angry
anybody
face.
can go.
All right, myself.
Just remember,
Brutus,
you're going to be in
Lover.
plain clothes. You're not going to be wearing your armor.
I don't need it.
Okay.
And I'll take
My muscles
Angel
are
with me.
armor.
If the plan is to jump on this guy when you see them, you may want to have some people staged and ready for that, though.
I can pull Overwatch.
What do you think, Jake?
About what?
About the plan?
I'm just an
What
outside
part do you want to
observer.
plan it? All right, that's what we'll do then. You can stay back with him,
Okay.
and you go
How are
ahead.
your people
Jed,
supposed to
you you pull
How's your,
Overwatch.
how's your command, manipulation, and empathy looking?
Manipulation's 3. That's how it looks.
What's your empathy?
2.
That's a decent dice pool if you want to pretend to be the smuggler.
Yeah, because I'm rolling with a 3 empathy, so I
Well, the
can
people-
say hi.
Of all the people to not pretend not to be a Marine, maybe the one who's not a Marine should.
Well, he's got
Think
the
about
added
it.
stigma of pretending to not be a lawman too. So, however, he is able to do that. That's part of what he does. So.
Well,
And so so Zuni is pretty solid on manipulation. She's got a 4 in empathy and a 2 in manipulation, so she's rolling 6. So manipulating
corner
her.
of the table there are the two most solid.
I'd rather
If they
not be
want
the
to.
face man for that. I stats wise they're all right, but you know the big colonial marine tattoo on my neck might give it away.
That is fair.
Core.
So, all right, yeah, you 3 take the medic, the marshal, and yourself.
Which version?
You
I don't know
know,
how to micromanage that.
you know for a fact that Angel owns the fact that she's a synthetic and doesn't pretend like a lot of other ones do. She can if she needs to. You know she doesn't unless
Right.
she needs to.
Well, it's up to you. You handle it however you think is best.
Then I'm not going with them.
No, we'll stay back and figure out some kind of
It
shoot
might
people in the face plan for when it
also
matters.
be
I wanted to
impressive
put my
that they
jumpsuit
have
on.
a synthetic with them because synthetics are still very rare and very expensive. However, just remember, everybody going in plain clothes is going in without long arms and without heavy weapons. So,
Is there a place or a way that we could kind of provide Overwatch for them with, our long arms and stuff in case things go sour?
the aerial surveillance you guys are given, because the people there are cooperating, you're it's off in a culvert, making it hard to get to from the ground.
Mhm.
There's a landing pad that's it's a huge wide open area with multiple shuttle spots, or actually one large ship can land there. And it's a building complex that's somewhat sticking out from the ground but moves back into the ground. It looks like a hangar that's built into the side of like a cliff face or a rock outcropping.
Okay.
You don't know how far back it goes, but a good section of it is outside. It just looks like they took the room they wanted, whether or not rock was there.
Fair dues.
There's several small buildings that look like they're mostly utility because it is still hostile environment. So there's not anybody running around outside on a regular basis, and because of the type of place this is, there's not a lot of regular traffic. There's a ship there every week, sometimes every 2 weeks. That's it, because it's all illicit and black market type travel. So it's not like they have a lot of people bouncing through. However, they need people to bounce through to make their money, so they have already expressed interest in meeting a new customer, which is how the meeting has been set. So you guys have a shuttle that doesn't have any Marine Corps markings, and it's not the standard Marine Corps type shuttle, just painted gray or anything like that. You've got a civilian-looking shuttle that will fly you down.
We're going to Grendel, right?
Yeah. You're touching down, and the atmosphere is not so bad that you need suits or anything, pressure suits or anything. However, if you're outside for more than about 40 minutes,
Right.
you're going to start dealing with exposure. One extreme or the other. Oxygen's not a problem. It's just still a crappy planet.
Okay. Then I'm
So-
going to go back to the locker room and check all my gear, get it loaded into the pods, and probably spend my time reading a book.
Okay. So if you guys land on the pads, if you wait for them to be clear, there might be external surveillance, but you could try to move to the building after everybody else is inside. You just don't know where you're going yet. You're going to need some cues from the people going in as to where you want to be.
Okay.
And whether or not you want to come in, because if they don't find the person you're looking for, you don't want to spring the trap yet.
Fair enough.
But if you do find the person you're looking for, you guys should probably try to be in a position to capitalize on it. A shotgun would probably not be suspicious. It might cause some concern, depending on the way the meeting goes. But it's not like you're showing up with a Marine Corps pulse rifle.
What about a pistol? About the same?
Pistol's fine.
Pulse rifle?
Pulse rifle's bad.
So no smart.
That's very Marine.
No, smart gun's definitely bad.
Okay.
Nice.
If you're pretending to be low key, anyway. If the rest of you are going to be in your armor, hot and ready to go and spring into action as Marines, which is fine,
That might not be a bad one.
then it doesn't matter. But if you guys, the people that are walking in to meet this person and look around,
Gotta
need
be
to not look like Marines.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be half of you. You guys can decide who wants to go in. You just need to see whether or not you get a window of meeting this guy. On the way down, you're flown down by one. It's an independent core colony shuttle, and this is the guy you're looking for. It's torn out of a larger photo. Pass that around. That is Urik. He's the problem. He's the head of the snake.
Ulrich?
Urik.
Ugly son of a bitch.
He's in the spot. He's got that
He is the
scar.
one. He is how they organize and stay out of our way. Stay out of our reach.
If I wear a pair of oversized mechanics overalls and smear some grease on myself for my appearance going down, I can conceal a knife in my overalls pretty easily, I assume.
You could do a knife or a handgun, yeah.
I was going to say, can I do both? Knife and knife on one side, handgun somewhere else?
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, they'll find it if they pat you down, but it'll be
just
out
gotta
of
smoke back,
sight
yeah.
under coveralls. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
no, yeah. I'll take both then out of sight.
He looks like my uncle.
I believe
Well, that's funny and kind of awkward because I was going to say you looked kind of like that girl you picked up at the bar last month.
In my defense, she was Arcturian, so you know.
Which are orangutan people, just so you can know.
Oh.
They're monkey people, yeah.
D1s with the D1s. What can I say?
It's okay. Well, you know, Marines. What can you say?
So we just need to smoke this guy. We don't need to take him alive or anything.
We can mop up. We just can't get to him. They know us.
Okay.
All right.
You
easy
get
enough.
him, we have deal.
Too easy.
We got this, right?
Sounds like one of the easier things that we've done.
Are we going in? Are we staying to go in the heavy?
Yeah, we're gonna hang back. We'll be in gear, ready to rock and roll.
Check that.
Will they go country western?
Can I bring Bertha?
You're pretty much an empty shell of a human being without that gun, buddy.
He's good with a pulse rifle too.
He's just gooder with a smart gun.
That's right.
Just be sure
Why
not
be
to
good
mow
when you
any
can
of
be more
us
good?
down.
That's why the gun's
Yeah.
the smart gun.
You've still had some interesting cases with that gun before, despite the brains.
I have never shot you.
You've come close. I know
Very
you're not
close.
trying, though.
The gist you get from the guy piloting you down, the representative of the independent core colonies, that's giving you the intel and the picture and everything, is as far as he's concerned, he doesn't care how many casualties there are as long as that guy's down. His discussion with the marshal doesn't make it that clean cut. Because there are people that are working there that are just working there because they need to work. Not everybody's going to have a gun. Not everybody's part of the criminal organization from the point of view of part of the actual structure of it. You know, there are worker bees there. So as far as the marshal is probably concerned, genocide might not be necessary.
And you know from your time working with me that I'm not a kill 'em all, let God sort 'em out kind of guy. No civilian casualties.
You point, I shoot. That's my job. I'm good at that.
Make sure they have a gun because we didn't bring any to leave.
I left my morals at home.
That's
my
what the
morals.
pistols are for.
Oh no!
Drop
Yeah.
gun.
He had the gun, I swear.
No drop guns. So
Sounds like we have a plan, then. Yeah. Want to let you two do all the talking.
Okay.
Some of it.
So, what is the gist of what you guys want to sell? They don't know anything about you yet, other than you come from a credible reference, somebody that they already do business with, which of course they're not going to discuss with you, the details with you because they don't know you yet.
Mm-hmm.
So the name drop basically got you the meeting. It's going to be all about you, what you can do, and what you can pay. So
That brings up an interesting point. What if you sold synths?
And then you can be our example.
Is that something that's
Or
possible?
sale. Yes, they're rare and expensive, so you're not talking high quantity, but yeah.
I'm still one of the somewhat newer models from Wayland. They might be interested.
Be a good bargain.
There's always a market for that.
I
Because
won't-
they run the whole gambit of skilled professional to pleasure worker, so.
I could go without any weapons. Things get hairy, I'll be fine. But it might be attractive.
That will work. Selling synths. A lovely example.
Well, yeah, you'd have a commodity example, which is good, if you want to do that. But yeah, that's plausible if that's the route you want to go with.
I'm not sure
But
if
you
you
have-
want a pleasure model or a combat model, though.
Both?
They're buying whatever we bring or they're not.
Good point.
Andy can probably handle that part. This is what we've got. If you're not interested, up yours.
Yeah.
So you've got a few other assets as well. I mean, you do have a locker of USMC official firearms. So I mean, there's a few things you can do. Plus, you can just straight up sell vaporware if you want to make something up. But yeah, as a possibility, synth is possible. It's absolutely plausible and is big dollar items, and not like we need a place to store 5,000 of them because that's ridiculously
And
expensive.
so what we know about them then is that they have enough money in their organization to afford to need a synth for any reason in particular.
They're not a fence. They're basically just a transport station. So they don't need the money. You just need a place to safely do exchanges or even drops. You do an anonymous drop, somebody comes and picks it up, drops money, they tell you it's there, and they come back, and there's somebody in the middle making sure that it's legit. Because if they screw either one of you, then they're out the business that they need to leave. They need to survive as well. So
Oh, so we're not meeting a buyer then.
no. These guys just handle the shipyard. They're just basically a pirate dock.
Okay. Then why do we need to sell them anything?
We need to have a reason to be doing business there. Because they're moving illegal traffic through. You don't necessarily need to tell them what you're moving, but they're going to ask because they're going to want to know how hot what you're bringing through is, because that's going to affect whether or not they actually want it there and whether or not they're going to charge you more.
And if we want the head of the snake, we need something that's suitably hot.
Mm-hmm. Something that sticks out.
Yeah. Or something high enough volume that it's going to be good money for them. But,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And again,
Well,
they're not busy every day.
That's what I was getting at. On the other end of that, they have enough money that they would be interested in. We're not trying to move an item to them that they can't afford to buy.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And under most circumstances, they won't be buying it. They will be the intermediary.
I'm talking about the other party. The other party's the head of the snake, right?
No, the other party is the head of this dock.
Oh, okay.
He's the one running this outside of the authorities port.
Okay.
They just can't come in. They can't ever get to him because all the locals know each other.
So
They could come in and do a catastrophic attack on it and wipe him out probably, but that damages the assets that they can't afford to replace. This is an opportunity for them. This isn't something they've been waiting for, but this is an opportunity they're capitalizing on. You guys are here. You're not the regulars. You're not locals. They're not going to recognize you. And if it goes catastrophically south, it's not their people. So,
okay, so mission breakdown is we're going to a section of Grendel, which is a port, and the section we're going to has basically been taken over by an illegal operation. We are doing the rest of the port a favor by taking out the head of the snake for that group, and in return, they're going to help smuggle us onto a ship that we are searching for contraband.
they are going to let you search the contraband when it gets there. And
Right.
if it's not what you need, then yes, they have the ability to get you, because they're a shipyard, they can get you into and out of those containers without disturbing the contents or having it look like they were disturbed.
And the shipyard planet side.
Yes, it's all planet side.
Okay.
And if it's not what you need, then yeah, the plan is you're going to replace some of the cargo with portable, is really the wrong term, but basically compact hypersleep modules for everybody except for Angel. And when that gets loaded onto the ship, you guys are going to be hiding in them. Once they jump, you guys are going to need to hook the units up to power and then get to sleep. Angel will be able to stay awake and make sure nothing happens to the containers until you come out the other side.
Right. Okay.
So
And you've
that's
got all the hardware on standby for that. If you don't find the contraband and need to board the ship, the plan is you unload what's in there, you sneak your stuff in, and reseal those containers in such a way that they don't look like they were tampered with, which the guys on the docks can do. And then you guys load those containers on board, and most of you are in them. You guys will need to help load them and whatnot, and then hide in them before you jump.
All right, so let's go.
So some idea?
Sure. Sounds good to me.
We have an example. Bribe them. Convince them.
Okay. Sounds good.
Convince. A lot of empathy.
Okay.
We could do this.
All right. So these three are going down. You guys are going to be. What's the plan?
We're just going to stand back and wait. Do we have comms?
Yeah, everybody has comms. I'm not going to make that a hurdle. That's silly.
Okay, then we're just going to wait for their word.
The three down there have earbuds that even in this environment for short range should probably be effective. You don't know the environment 100%, but they should be just fine, even if they're in the building, as long as they don't go like way far underground.
Should we have codes like saying we say if we're in danger or not? Corporal. Usually very good with this.
And it is
We'll
fine
listen
for
in.
you guys to come in as Marines if you're getting this guy.
Just open mics then.
Yeah, just leave the mics open. We'll go in if we feel like we need to. Can you handle a weapon, Marshall?
Yes.
Like, for reals?
I don't think you would be a marshal.
Yeah, I'm a law enforcement officer, am I not?
His question stands.
Yeah.
I've met a few fat cops.
He seems to be of average weight.
Thank you for that.
She's very observant.
You may know how to shoot a gun, but have you ever had to take a life?
Maybe more than you even.
All right, just making sure you don't need help out there.
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, it's us with him anyway. We'll be fine.
Patch things up.
All right, shit hits the fan. You stay low.
Can do.
All right. So, anything else you guys want to establish before you walk in? Okay. And you guys are going to be suited up in field gear, ready to rumble.
Fully loaded with
Smart.
Bertha.
Smart gun up, because that's your call.
Bertha, no Bertha.
I don't think we're going to need the smart gun right away. Keep it handy,
We'll need
but
mobility.
what we might need is for you to bring their gear in. You're the big guy.
Just be gentle.
Yeah. You're almost the strongest person here.
That bothers me.
Beat out by a robot. And a girl at that.
I have a shot of winning an arm wrestling contest. That's all that matters.
A shot.
Only if
Shot.
she lets you in.
I am, because
Shot.
of the change in plan, Angel is not going to have a single weapon on him, so I'm literally just going to be wearing, a pair of overalls that I'm going to dirty up and rip slightly in certain spots.
Okay.
Yeah, but nothing else.
Question mark?
So then,
Because I'm trying to look like property.
Oh,
I'm not
gotcha.
trying to look like an actual.
So she's just wearing like mechanic coveralls.
Oh, okay.
Is that how
okay.
people would
Right.
treat a synth though, especially like a high-end model?
It depends
Or
on
the
how
stats
you're
work.
going to market what you have.
I almost feel like we should market her more like she's off the line than used goods, especially if she's one of the newer models.
5 years.
And are you going to market her as a pleasure model for the miners or a bodyguard unit? And you have access to all of them, but what would you be bringing with you to meet a new person?
I can play all the roles. You just
No.
have to tell me.
Both one. We'll have to see what they're like. You know, if they're into that kind of stuff, we can do that route. No.
I mean,
We
remember,
can market her as a blank slate, put whatever you want in her.
that's typically for the pleasure models,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah. Yep.
You have a lovely personality. Can you play dumb?
I mean,
We know you have the answers. Do you have to give them to us?
Yeah.
it's honestly up to you, because a model that can do both pleasure and combat is even rarer than I am.
It would definitely attract more eyes.
Do you want the dress then?
Synths that have the ability to fight and actually injure people are absolutely 100% black market.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Pleasure models, not so much. I can still wear a dress
No, but they're
and
a lot
put on
more
a show if you need.
Yeah. You start with the pleasure, and then depending if we're not winning their attention, then we'll go with the other
But
route.
pleasure models aren't illegal.
You want me to be a man?
So why are you selling them at an illicit?
Well, that's my point.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah.
expensive.
just
They're
No.
still expensive and hard to
You
get.
need to be
I
a
feel like-
combat model.
Anything. That's what I was
Start with
saying.
the
Like,
pleasure and
can't
then
synths
No,
be
no,
reprogrammed
no
with whatever you want?
Yes.
Because you
And
need
even
to
if
be
she
illegal.
came programmed as a combat model,
Everybody needs pleasure.
Yeah.
it can be fixed, adjusted.
Okay.
Oh,
But showing that you have a combat model that's the hard software to get.
Ooh.
Yeah.
especially military grade.
Just introduce yourself with the right cross. Just hi, welcome.
A man
I
would be dead.
wouldn't. I wouldn't want to kill them.
Fine.
I was thinking just start with the pleasure model, and then we surprise them that you're also combat.
And then once they're on the hook, you murder someone.
If that's what you want, am I giving them a blowjob? Like,
But
what's
the
going
corporal
on?
doesn't. The corporal's right though. Pleasure models aren't illegal,
They're just expensive,
and they're just expensive. So we need
which
something.
is still a commodity.
We need a combat model. Yeah. She needs to be a combat model.
Okay, you're the marshal.
What do you want me to wear? I'm not going to wear marine gear.
She can still wear plain clothes.
yeah,
She
just
can
wear
bring
plain
your
clothes.
shotgun though.
Yeah.
Don't bring a pulse rifle.
Clean
Not
pair
that
of
the Marines
overalls.
are the only people that have them, but it's sort of a.
The incredible
that will be a
world.
hassle.
Or is it really common to come across like older century like weapons in mass circulation?
Not
Like
out this far.
M4s, not this far out.
Could we be
You
selling
can
pulse
get
rifles?
them, but they haven't migrated out.
Hmm.
Modern weapons are what people
We could
make.
pretend to sell anything
Okay.
we wanted.
We have the pulse rifles. We could put them in a box and just say they're good.
I'm assuming that's a common thing they see more often than something like me, though.
You're not taking my pulse rifle.
True.
That's
That's right.
Sell their own
We
pulse
go combat.
rifles.
But,
Go combat, just natural. Overalls, jeans.
The intel on these guys, they don't have pulse rifles.
we have plan then.
It sounds like it, yes.
Okay. So the shuttle pilot parks the equivalent of about 5 spaces out. He doesn't park right on the door. He's hoping it discourages people from poking around because you basically are parking in a no-law zone. And he does pop the hatch and walk out with his full pilot gear and helmet and everything on. Look around. People open the doors to the building, and he says, "They're waiting." And he waits for you. He makes a show of being visible and staying with the shuttle.
Wearing a backwards off-duty cap, clean overalls, and then just a coat thrown over it. So super nondescript plain clothes.
Okay.
No weapons.
No weapons? Okay. What are you bringing?
A handgun.
Okay. This is Wild West,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I'm bringing the handgun.
on display,
Simple,
or since
sure.
you're
Oh no,
one
it's
of,
on display.
okay, I was gonna say you're one of the people outfitted to not. So
Yeah.
Okay. What are you bringing?
Normal. I'm not bringing nothing. Just my pocket flashlight.
Just pocket fleshy.
Make sure it's dangling. I think of it as a little keychain.
Okay.
Dangling, normal clothes.
All right. No pistol, no knife, no nothing.
I don't got no knife.
Well, we have extra pistols. You want to take a pistol?
I'll take a knife.
Okay. You can get a knife. You're a Marine. That's fine.
I just didn't see it. I was like, oh man, I don't have a knife.
This is not everything you guys have access to. This is basically just what you guys usually carry.
Sharp knives
I'll
and
make
tactical
sure
nukes.
to bring a knife.
So,
Like-
bonus 0.
Vandal there doesn't carry a knife. Vandal carries a survival hatchet.
That's
Oh,
cool.
He runs into combat with a tomahawk.
So I want that. Yeah, Alex is over there. What? It's literally my jam.
I'll just shit.
I bring my shiny hatchet and pistol and pulse rifle.
Are you going to have anything else prepped for when you
I will
guys need to
have
go in?
3 pulse rifles at the ready.
Okay. So just throw them in the bag.
Throw them in a bag over my shoulder, and I will keep the smart gun in the Pelican case and take it with me.
You're gonna lug it in.
Oh, no, I'm gonna bring it. So how are
It will take you several minutes to get into that.
Pelican
Oh.
box?
Well, no, there's a whole harness and everything. to
Yeah,
go
the smart gun
through.
has a harness you wear with a
system.
third arm to help you carry the gun.
I leave it on the ship.
I mean, you can. I'm not going to tell you you can't.
I'm gonna leave it
I'm
on the ship.
hinting you shouldn't.
I'm leaving it on the ship.
Big hints.
I'm leaving it on the ship.
Man, I don't
Okay.
want to metagame, but the name of the RPG is
Aliens?
It's not aliens question mark either. Just
Oh,
aliens.
I'll bring. Yeah, that's. I'm gonna bring the Pelican case though, because if we're gonna be loaded up in the things, if it's not there, I want to make sure it's ready to be loaded up with me.
Loaded up with you where?
So we're bringing all of our personal gear, as well as he is bringing 3 pulse rifles for the crew that are not bringing pulse rifles with them.
So you've got basically
the
just
mule.
a duffel bag, or
Duffel bag of 3 pulse
Rifle sack.
rifles and 3 pistols. Basically, it's their combat weapons.
okay. The people that are suiting up to go in, how many mags do you have for each weapon?
I don't know. How many
Six.
do I have?
6. Well, you can take what you have. You're prepped for this, so you can take what you want. 6 is probably adequate and common, because remember, ammo's Hollywood in this.
Okay,
Are
mine
we-
doesn't say how many I have
No,
anyway.
I didn't designate that for you.
So I'll take 6 mags per, or Yeah, 4 mags per gun, since I'm lugging it all
How many are you
around.
taking for you?
For my pulse rifle,
You probably only like 1 or 2.
I will take 2 for my pulse rifle. And how many mags can I take for the smart gun? How does that operate? How many drums of ammo?
You can carry 1 spare mag for that right now.
They have a lot of ammo.
Yeah, it's a.
It's a drum.
So don't panic with it.
It's
and
a light
empty it.
machine
That's
gun.
what
It
I
has like
Yeah.
500 rounds in it.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. If I panic, it's just like for 2 turns, just.
Yeah, but everything in front of you dies.
That's true.
Yes.
Everything
Should
has
we
to.
pack armor for them?
Oh my god.
Like maybe you and I each carry an extra suit or 2?
No, Brutus is the mule. He's carrying everything.
Go with God, be safe.
So how does that loading
Because
and
if we
ammo
move
property
in, we
work
need to
for a
be shoot
shotgun?
so we
then?
can run.
That's fair.
It's the same. You empty your mag even though the shotgun only has 8, and then the reload you carry is considered a full mag.
Pulse
So,
rifles have
it's
60
8
rounds.
to 2, right?
Hmm?
I think they have
I think so.
120.
It's 120.
It's a
right.
120 round
You're
magazine.
right. Okay.
And I don't think they ever explained what the smart gun has. Because
Well,
when they pulled mags,
I mean,
it
I played
was
enough
this
video games
big.
to know it's
That
got
was the
some
power source.
I was
for it,
assuming
yeah.
they always just pulled the battery,
Well,
which is
that-
why they had a
that-
spare one. but-
Yeah, that wasn't a magazine. That was the basically like a safety mechanism that allows it to be connected to the HUD. That basically turns the weapon live, more or less, and attaches it to the
But
targeting
they
interface.
never showed an ammo source for that thing. So.
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't.
It fires compressed air at really fast velocities.
But okay, yeah. So it's 8 rounds in the tube then. That's
Yeah,
kind of what I was
that's
getting at. So
Yep.
it's 8 rounds in the shotgun. So a spare would be another 8 then. Okay.
Yeah, 6 mags for the. I'll carry 5 mags for the pulse rifle.
Okay.
And
And you guys have harnesses. If you're in your Marine Corps gear, you guys have harnesses for all this stuff. So
yeah,
And I'll be
5
taking
extra
3 extra
rifles.
pulse rifles, a total of 15 pulse rifle magazines, 4 magazines for the pistol, and an extra smart gun magazine.
no, you load it up.
I have a lot to remember. So
Yeah. I'll write all that down.
I'm going to take 2 mags for the 2 extra mags for the shotgun. So pulse rifle's got a mag in it, so 6 mags total, but 5 on me. Shotgun's got a mag in it, so 2 mags extra. A total of
What are
3.
you lugging?
6 extra mags for the pulse rifle plus 1 in, 2 extra for the pistol plus 1 in, and 3 reloads for my hunting knife.
Okay.
So 3 more hunting knives.
No, just the
So-
one.
so,
Dagger,
yeah.
dagger.
Dagger, dagger, dagger. Yeah, write down your mags.